And here we go. Good morning, grade 8 students. In this session, we are going to move to the digestion application exercises about our chapter about the digestion. In this exercises, we have to study before we start with any of these exercises. We have to study the notes regarding the enzymes, regarding the food tests, and also regarding the notes about the types of food, intestinal absorption, the characteristics of the intestinal absorption, and the root of the nutrients. To start with, the first exercise. First exercise is talking about what? It's talking about mechanical digestion. Mechanical digestion, it permits the decomposition of food, meaning that it allows the decomposition of food into small pieces, facilitating the chemical action of enzymes. In order to verify this hypothesis, which hypothesis? In order to verify this hypothesis, the hypothesis is mentioned here in the text. So this is the hypothesis. In order to verify this hypothesis, the hypothesis is mentioned in the text here. The mechanical digestion permits the composition of food into small pieces, facilitating the chemical action of the enzyme. So this is the hypothesis. That to verify the hypothesis, always the hypothesis should be before the sentence to verify this hypothesis. So this is the hypothesis. The mechanical digestion permits the decomposition of food into small pieces, facilitating the chemical action of enzymes. So this is the hypothesis. To verify this hypothesis, bread pieces of different sizes were placed in two test tubes in the presence of the enzyme salivary amylase. The conditions and the results of the experiment are figured in the document below. Before I start, my question is, what is the substrate for the salivary amylase? What is the substrate for the salivary amylase? Let's choose here. I'm going to pick one of you here. Yes, Sabine, good morning. Okay, Karim, your answer is, what is the substrate for the enzyme salivary amylase?
Says Muhammad, the substrate saliva for saliva amylase is starch.
As a starch, very good. Thank you, Karim, very good. So the substrate for the enzyme salivary amylase, it's starch. So very good, thank you. And those who are in the silent mode, your mark or bonus points will be also in the silent mode. Thank you, Karim. Let's continue. We have the two tubes, 1 and 2. In tube 1, we have small pieces of bread. So in tube 1, small pieces of bread. In tube 2, large pieces of bread. Both tubes, we have water. Both tubes, we have the enzyme salivary amylase. Both tubes, they are found at pH equal 7. And both tubes, they are formed in a water bath of temperature 37 degrees Celsius. My question is, what is the variable factor in this experiment? What is the variable factor in this experiment? Yes, Abbas, what is the variable factor?
The variable factor is the size of the pieces of bread.
Is the size. Very good, Abbas. The variable factor is the size of the piece of bread. Here, the size is very small, and here is the size is large. So here, this is the variable factor. Very good, Abbas. So the variable factor is the size of the piece of bread. Tube 1, it's small, and tube 2, it's large. Both of them, they are left for about 20 minutes. Results. Tube 1, the small pieces, they disappear. appear. What does this mean? This means that we have digestion. But this digestion, it will be preceded by a specific word. We will see. While in tube 2, the large pieces of bread, they decrease in size. They become smaller. So here we have digestion, but it's not full digestion. That's why here we call it complete digestion. Why it's complete digestion? Because there is no more bread and the bread is digested completely. So we call it complete digestion. However, in the second tube, it's called partial digestion. Why? Because small pieces, the large pieces, sorry, they become smaller. So this is called partial digestion. So partial digestion, it digests the food partially and not completely. There, we determine the digestion, where does it occur? Tube A, or tube 1 and tube 2, and we determine the variable factor. Let's move to the questions of this exercise. What do they want? They want to represent in the same table the experimental conditions and results. So you have to draw the table of conditions and results. Part B, pick out from the text the tested hypothesis. Pick out, you have to copy it from the text. Interpret the obtained results, draw out the conclusion. Let's move step by step. First of all, let's move to the table of conditions and results. Table of condition and result, we have to do what? First of all, I have to draw the table. Table should be drawn using a pencil for sure and using a ruler too. Here, you have to draw the pencil. And I have to cut it like this, and I have to divide it like this. This is the first step. I don't know the size of the table. I draw it as much as I want. Then I move to the second step. Maya, do you have a question before we continue?
No, I wanted to say the table of conditions.
Okay, yeah. Follow me, Maya. Yeah, me and you together. First of all, I have to cut the table. I cut it like this.
Yes, first
Okay.
we write over
What?
here conditions.
Very good. So here we put conditions. And down, what do we write? We write
Tubes.
tubes. Very good. So here we write tubes. How many tubes do we have? We have 2 tubes. So you write 1. Don't write tube 1. Okay, so already you wrote tubes.
1 and
So
line
1
and then 2.
Then you cut it here into 2, and you have to write tube 2. Before I fill the table with anything, we have to do something. Let's draw, give the title. Title of the table before you fill it. Because when you fill it, mostly you will forget to put the title. So put the title before you forget, you fill it. So table,
Showing the
always it's table, showing, yes Maya? This is your answer.
showing the variation.
No, it's not showing the variation. They said draw the table showing the condition and the results. So table, it's
Table
showing
showing the conditions and results.
the results of the experiment. Showing the conditions and
And
results of the experiments. Okay? And results of experiments or of the experiment. This is, I wrote the title. Okay? Then we continue. Yes, Kareem, do you have a question? Kareem, do you have a question? Raising your hand.
Yes, Ustaz, I do.
Yes, your question is
Is it okay if we write the title on the top of
no.
the table?
No,
No,
always
no.
write it down at the bottom of the table. Okay? Always write it down at the bottom of the table. Okay, Kareem?
Yes,
Okay,
Ustaz.
so let's continue. Let's start step by step with the conditions. So here we have to write the conditions and the results of the experiment, step by step. First tube and second tube, we have to look to the common. What do we have? We have water. So this is the first condition. I write water.
water, amylase.
Then we move it to, we have amylase. We write amylase.
Then we have temperature and pH.
Then we have the size of the piece of bread. Or let's say we have bread. We can add it like this. We have a bread. Foot. Okay? Bread. I will add 1 box, etc., which is one box, sorry, extra, in addition to the bread, size of the bread. Okay? Size of the bread. Some of you is going to put it in 1 box, size of the bread, large piece and small piece. It's okay. It's correct 100%. Size of the bread. Then we move to the pH.
And then
I have the pH.
temperature.
And then I have temperature.
And then results.
No, before the results, Yamaya, what do we have? We have duration. So we have to mention the duration.
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Don't forget the duration. So duration or the time. You can put either duration or time. It's okay. The same duration. And finally, what do we have? We have
Yes.
the results. Someone is going to ask me, can we write the table in another form? For example, can I put large piece, small piece of bread, put the plus, plus, minus, plus, and so on? Yes, you can. But you have to include all the information in the table because any missing information will lead to a missing mark. First of all,
It's easier in this way, just fill it.
yes?
Draw the table and fill it. It's easy.
Yes, it's very easy. Yeah, let's continue. I need, other than Maya and other than Kareem, I need a new participant. Let's move to Ismail. Yes, Ismail.
Yes, sir.
So we have the tubes, water, amylase, bread, size of bread, pH, temperature, duration, and result. First of all, water. It's found in both tubes, A and 1 and 2.
Yes.
So what do we do? What do we put?
Positive
Plus,
plus.
plus the plus.
Yes.
So here, before I continue, I use the legend. So I have to inform it and I have to say what is the legend. Plus, it means what? It means
Positive.
presence, not positive. It means a presence.
Present.
So meaning that we have water here. Okay? If we will use minus,
Yes.
then we have to add minus, it means absence. Amylase, it's found in both tubes also, Ismail. So you have to put plus, plus. Bread,
Yes.
is it found in both
And
tubes?
plus. Also bread.
Also, we have to put plus,
Yes.
plus. Size of the bread in tube 1.
Oh, one large and one small.
Okay, which one is large?
The large is 2 and the
Tube
small
2
is
is
1.
large. Size of bread, large pieces. And here it's small pieces. Thank you, Ismail. Let's move to Abbas. Abbas, pH in tube 1 and tube 2.
It's 7.
7. And here it's 7. Temperature, Abbas.
37 degrees Celsius.
Very
in
good.
both of
37
them.
degrees Celsius in both tubes. 37 and 37. Duration,
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So you have to write 20 minutes. In both tubes, 20 minutes. And here we have 20 minutes. Moving for the results. Ali Hassan Basma, thank you of Abbas. Ali Hassan Basma, results.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ali. Yeah, results in
Results
tube
for-
1.
In tube 1,
Yes,
disappearance of piece of bread.
very good.
the tube.
So this appearance of pieces of bread. So this appearance of pieces of bread.
Of pieces of bread.
Okay, here all of them from where? From the figure. I didn't add any additional information. I'm only copying the notes, copying the conditions and the results from the experiment. And in tube 2, Ali,
In tube 2, decreases
decrease in the size
the
of
piece
pieces
of
of
food decrease in
bread.
size.
Okay, very good. Decrease. And the size of pieces of bread. And the size of pieces of bread. Here, I filled the table. I will make sure that I gave it a title. I did. I gave it a title. I used the legend. Someone is going to ask me, Mister, you didn't put minus, it means absence. Did we use it here? Did we use minus? No. So we don't put it. So we don't put only the legend for plus, it means a presence. If you miss the title and if you miss the legend, meaning that you are going to miss the whole mark. You won't get the full mark. Also, if you miss one of the conditions or you didn't write the results, so your mark will be not full for this part, for this table, drawing the table of conditions. Any questions before I move? Before we finish the table of conditions, any questions?
No,
Okay, great. Great. Let's move to part B. Part B, they said pick out from the text the tested hypothesis. They said here to verify this hypothesis. Where is the hypothesis? Here it is. So the mechanical digestion permits the decomposition of food into smaller pieces, facilitating the action of the enzyme. This is the hypothesis. Part C, interpret the obtained results. Here is the big problem. Interpret. What is interpret? Yes, I'm going to pick now new students here. Alma, what is interpret? Yes, Alma, what is interpret? Great. Let's move to Gabrielle. What is the interpret here, Gabrielle?
It is analyze plus indicate.
Very good. It's analysis, analyze, plus indication. And the indication should be what, yeah, Gabrielle? It should be specific for the experiment. While the conclusion will be in general. It should be a general conclusion. So this is the interpret, analyze plus indication. Those in the quizzes, they did the interpret only analyze. Sometimes I gave them 1/2. From now on, if I asked for interpret and you did analysis only, you won't get any mark, meaning that you didn't know what the meaning of interpret. Okay, so you have to pay attention to this. Let's move to the figure to interpret. Yalla Gabriel, interpret in the first tube. After,
Tube one.
yes,
Tube one. After adding amylase to small
plus
pieces
water,
of bread, amylase plus water to the small pieces of bread in tube one with a pH of 7,
add
which was put in a water bath with temperature of 37 degrees for
after 20 minutes. Yes,
the pieces of bread disappear.
full stop. Here you finished the analysis. Very good. Give the indication, Gabriel. This indicates that what?
This indicates that digestion occurs in tube 1.
Occurs completely or partially?
Complete digestion.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent, Gabriel. Thank you. So after adding water and amylase, I'm going to repeat what Gabriel said. So after adding water and amylase to tube 1 containing small pieces of bread at temperature 37 degrees Celsius at the pH equals 7, after 20 minutes, the pieces of bread, they disappeared. What does this indicate? This indicates that the food or the bread was digested completely in tube 1. Abes, do you have a question or you want to answer?
No, I have a question.
Yes.
When we finish this question, can you go to the slide of the table of condition? I want to see the title again.
Title, table showing conditions and results of experiment.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great. So you can get it from here. Abbas, the question is here.
Yes.
Okay, represent in the team table the experimental condition and result. So you add what? Table. You add only the word showing. So the title will be table showing the experimental condition and results. Okay, got it?
Yes, thank
Always
you.
it will be like this. Okay, very good. Great. Let's move to Cube 2. Cube 2, I need new volunteers to interpret Tube 2. I need Adam Tyrek. Good morning. Adam Tyrek, Alma Aude, Sabine Swaidan, they are in silent mode. Great. Hadil Sufan, good morning.
Yes, it is.
Interpret, please, in Tube 2.
You mean I should explain it?
Interpret, not explain. Interpret. It's analyze plus indication, like Gabrielle did.
In tube 2, the size of the bread decreased.
Okay, here you are not doing analysis, Hadil.
Esther, can I?
As I should say like what they put first.
Yes, you should do so.
Okay, in tube 2,
After adding,
after adding large pieces of bread.
no, you start with the water and amylase. After adding water and amylase to tube 2, containing.
Tube 2, we added large pieces of bread.
Okay.
After 20 minutes, the bread decreased in size.
Okay, here, if you want to do this analysis, Hadil, this analysis is not complete. It's missing. Why? Because you missed all the conditions, most of the conditions. You only said we added water to large piece of bread. After 20 minutes, the decrease of the size. You missed the temperature, you missed the pH, you missed the enzyme, and you missed the duration, and you have to, finally, you have to mention the results. Okay, pay attention. Let's give the chance for others, but pay attention, Hadil, how to answer this. Alma, can you do it?
Esther,
Yes, Alma.
what's the question?
Interpret in tube 2 only. We finished tube 1.
Okay. In tube 2, we
Yes.
after adding
Yes.
large pieces of bread to a mixture of water and amylase.
The opposite is true. We add water and amylase to tube containing large piece of bread. نحط البراد بعدين بنحط الwater والamylase. Okay?
Oh, okay. In a water bath with
Temperature 37.
37 degrees
Yes.
Celsius. After 20 minutes,
Yes.
the pieces of bread decrease in size.
Okay, here you finish the analysis. What do you have to
We
do,
can-
Alex?
This wait, analyze. ما بقول conclusion. Analyze. And this indicates that
Yes.
that when the pieces of bread are larger, they take more time to digest.
No. No. Here you did the conclusion, Alma. So let's repeat. I'm going to repeat this. Pay attention, Alma, and pay attention, Hadil, please. So in tube 2, after adding water and amylase to tube 2 containing large piece of bread at pH equals 7, where the temperature was 37 degrees Celsius, full stop, after 20 minutes, there is decrease in the size of the pieces of bread. What does this indicate? I have to add indication. I finished the analysis. So after adding, I will repeat it. After adding water and amylase to tube 2 containing large piece of bread at pH equals 7, water bath 37 degrees Celsius, full stop. After 20 minutes, there is decrease in the size of the piece of bread. Full stop. This indicates that the bread is digested partially. What's the meaning of the word partially? Partially meaning that it's not completely. It's digested partially. Partially digested. It doesn't digest completely. Since the large pieces are not digested completely. They are digested into smaller pieces. So here I finished the interpret. Conclusion that I told you have to study it. Mechanical digestion, it facilitates the chemical digestion and allow the digestion to finish faster. And this, I can add a question. Is the hypothesis validated? Yes, it's validated. It's approved. Why? Because they said mechanical digestion, it permits the decomposition of food into small pieces, facilitating the action of the enzyme, the chemical action. So as I told you in the explanation, I gave you that mechanical digestion, it facilitates the chemical digestion and allow the digestion to finish faster. This is always, always, and always, whenever we have large piece and small piece of food, this is the conclusion. Mechanical digestion facilitates the chemical and allow the digestion to finish faster. This is the conclusion always in the case we have large pieces of bread and small pieces, either bread or another type of food. So this is related to the table of condition and also related to the interpret. So please, you have to be careful for the interpret. Interpret's analysis plus indication. Interpret is not reading and copying and filling. You have to say, use linking words. I did analysis a lot. Review the notes because next quiz I'm going to be somehow tough in the correction. I'm going to deal you like grade 9 students from now on. This lesson is for grade 9. So I'm dealing with it as you are a grade 9 student from now on. Interpret, I did a lot of interpret and you can refer to the correction. You can refer to the correction of this worksheet. After adding, you have to start this, or after placing, or after mixing, or after putting water and amylase in tube containing large piece of bread. Do I have to mention the large piece of bread and small piece of bread? Can I say only bread? No. Why? Because small and large, they represent the variable factor as Abbas said. So the variable is the small pieces or the large pieces. So this is the variable factor, I have to mention it. Because if you didn't mention it, this means that you have problems in the analysis. Okay?